I'm here at the Jordan National Design Week with
Ziad Qweider.
And where are you from?
I'm from Jordan, but my ancestors, they come from Hebron,
In Palestine.
of course.
And you have this wonderful exhibit
Thank you.
here, which is quite extraordinary that you told me the king and queen saw last night and they really liked it. So can you, each one of these embroideries tells a very important story about Palestine and your roots. Can you tell me how you became interested in embroidery?
Okay, fortunately my family were so much into collecting the old cloth, the Palestinian cloth, the over 150 years old
What is
cloth.
Palestinian thought?
It's the dress, the old dress the Palestinians used to wear, and they used to, it was always handmade and it was fully handmade. So I was a kid at the time and I was supposed to take care of every few months I'm the kid that would take them out to the sun so the material will not go bad, and then I would return it, and I got in love with them as a kid actually.
Did you watch the women embroider them?
No, I never. And but if you look at the pieces and the technique and the coloring, it's amazing.
So you taught yourself?
Yes, I taught myself.
Wow.
I was inspired as a kid.
Can you explain your works of art, please?
Yes. And that we start with the face. And this is a face from another world. You see here the eyes. You can see the groove canyon under the eyes. This face has been crying for long. And you see here the tensions around the eyes. Okay. Also here the topography of the face, it gets the feel almost the face will melt, but actually it will not melt because this face it acquired the wire look, the wire that surrounds him, but the surroundings that affected him. He's living with the surroundings. He became part of it, unfortunately. This is Palestinian face under siege, under occupation. It's a face from another world, and definitely it's a face from another world we don't know. The whole planet, no one on the planet lives like the way they live. Okay, and here we go to the second piece. This second piece, actually here, all these pieces are, I have to say this, they're done the old way our ancestors used to make their pieces, and they used to have in every piece different. I'm trying to here in my pieces to use different technique in every piece that they used to use to show the methods, and that I taught myself just by looking at the old thought. And here you can see in the middle, it's the bold technique, and on the sides, it's the discrete technique. And the bold technique, at the time, they used to use it to, we'd have like a motif on, very bold motif on the dresses that would tell what city they are from or what village they come from. So be careful, okay, I'm from this city. And then we'd have these discrete motifs, and the discrete motifs would be just personal things for them. They would, only people who come very close to them can read them, just for relatives and friends. And I'm using the second technique on the sides, as I said. Unfortunately, this piece, it's all of it the people we lost in wars, and this, unfortunately, their bloods when they go down, and it's into stars, our stars, and the sides of this piece, when those same dots, they retreat right and left, far above. So this second technique, I used it to give sense of space, and you can see in these pieces here the stars, some of them brighter than the others, and unfortunately too here we have another grid here not yet filled. I'm afraid many people will go, hopefully not. We go to the second piece here. the second piece here, and this is another technique used to use. Through color variation, you can feel the sense of movement in this piece, as if the blood is dripping on the Palestinian flag, and it's giving it the reddish color, changing the colors. Also, we have here the segregation wall, the apartheid wall. All these pieces, they start from here. Yes, this is the first piece, and this is our hope. Our hope that this wall one day will disappear, and you can see here almost you have like windows of hope start opening and more cracking, and even you have a flash here and there to more flash and more cracking, more into disappearing, hopefully one day, cracking, disappearing. Our hope, hopefully one day we'll have peace until it disappears.
So the wall dissolves.
Yes. Peacefully, I think.
Peacefully.
Yes. And here we have a bird flying full speed liberty. This bird is spreading his wings all the way. He's like an arrow. He's going very fast. He cannot believe he's free. Finally, he's following another two birds. They took their freedom a while ago, and they're enjoying it. This piece here, it's the kite that we play with when we're young. And here there's another technique too. And you see the different use of red I'm using here. And this technique, our ancestors used to use it to show importance to the meaning or to the sign they're using, or to show wealth. So it's as if, although they are using cotton, but it would give the sense of silkiness. And here I use it for all what we've seen so far. Unfortunately, our route has been very bloody, and even, the old days, we used to go from Amman and we'd go to Haifa and Yafa and swim. It was fun. Our ancestors tell us all the fun stories and how everyone was living nicely together. So here, our inspiration, you see the sides of this piece, around it, you see the green and the blue, and this represents our hope to return back peacefully and the prosperity for all. This piece here for this piece here is for always in our culture we have things for hocus pocus and for bad eyes and whatever. This is actually the hand. We have the 5 dots here, and the 5 dots here it's against bad eye, but I made it in fine art.
Evil eye.
Yes, evil eye, and I made it into a fine art. It's just abstract way. Beside it, we have a religious piece. And why I put the two beside each other, because actually in our culture it's a bit funny that we always have the two together, and we believe in a way or not, just many times more we believe in both of them, although they contradict each other. Okay.
What do you mean two what?
They contradict each other because
What contradicts each other?
yes, because in our religion we are not supposed to believe in these the evil eye and magical things, So it's against our religion.
Right, but people do it.
we always have this, and some people just do it just for fun,
Yeah.
So it's just part of the culture. Here, those 3 pieces here, these are the windows of hope, but also through color variation, the technique our ancestors used to use, they give you the sense of opening, closing. This is when we hear, sometimes we have the feel that peace is coming, and all of a sudden everything go wrong, and these windows start to close in our faces, unfortunately. These 3 pieces here, these are the Joker faces. And why the Joker? And why the Joker? Because we need all the luck in the world to get out of the mess we are in.
Yes.
Because you know, especially now, it's a big war, and the wars that the religion is in the middle. It's the worst scenario ever. So in order to get in this mess, we need like big time jokers, all the luck in the world to get out of this mess. This piece was as hard as the face, and this is a face from another world, and this is a language from another world. And why a language from another world? Because you know the whole nations came here in this big fight here, and all the news in all languages, it's the story of the planet, all languages, but as if no one is listening, no one is understanding, as if there is no way of communication. So I thought maybe we need a new language, because the destruction doesn't stop, the war, the bloodshed, and the refugees. So maybe we need a new language. And here, when I chosen it was not easy actually to create a language that doesn't look like any other language we know. Yet I wanted it to be related to this area, so it would be from our ancestors, you know, from very early civilization lived in this area, our ancestors. Yet I wanted it to be very dynamic. Every one of the alphabet, I wanted it to be very dynamic. Actually, every alphabet here is one of us. This guy is catching to the rope with his hand. This other guy is catching to the rope with his hands and legs. The guy beside him with he's catching the rope with his hand. The one in front of him with his hand and legs. But at the end, it's a rope, and God knows if it breaks. And here are the most important three pieces actually, because you notice the technique I use here. It's a bit complicated, and it's very rich. The technique is, the design is rich, the coloring is rich too, and I wanted to do just a piece of what some of the dresses, you know, the old Palestinian dresses used to, how they were made. And this shows how rich our heritage that we carry with us. And actually these three pieces are three sales. The first sale is Palestinians in 1948, and the Palestinians 1967, and Palestinians all around the world. And you know, I had even I had some people, Europeans the other day. They were glad that I explained this point here, because they have been living in Jordan for 2 years, and they have been asking their their neighbors and friends, Palestinian friends, what's the deal? What's the problem? You're living nicely, you're working, everything here is okay. In Jordan we are living nicely, but other countries, Palestinians are not living nicely. So they're asking the Palestinians in Jordan, what's the deal? And here is the thing, okay, we're working and everything and we're fine, but we have these strong roots. We're deeply rooted there. So there's always something missing. This is the most important thing. And you notice those two sails on this side, they're spreading this side, and this sail is spreading the other side, but they're catching the winds from different angles. And it shows how the Palestinians, sometimes they use different methods to reach their goal, but you notice that all they're pointing at the same point at the end. The one in the middle, unfortunately, the one in the middle, this one, the 1967 Palestinians, it's unfortunately the road has been the bloodiest, and it's the worst case scenario for them. We are all in, you can see like we resemble each other very much, but this is the bloodiest, unfortunately. And here, this piece for the right of return, and you can see the repetition of the keys in red, and sometimes in between you have small flowers, red flowers. And this is here, you can see here we have four columns, anything stable will have 4 legs, yes, or a structure will have 4 columns, whatever. So this is positive stability. I meant here that our right of return is something very stable for us. We're not going to give up because people have been waiting since the 40s to go back. Some of them, many in refugees camps, and they're still waiting. Plus, you see here the entrance of the door. Unfortunately, it has been bloody so far. Also, through color variation, you can get this feel. But you can see also the green dots. First, they start a bit, but more beside each other. The more you see what we hope, prosperity and peace, and return to the promised land. And here we have the positive stability. Here in this piece, we have negative stability and actually stagnation. And you notice here these are unfortunately the guys they recruit these days, you know, and one of them is holding a flag, the old parade way, Nazi Germany. The top of the piece is the castle top, and it represents the castle, the 4 castles they're carrying. It's stagnation, and all these ideologies that these stagnations they give all the whole area. The ideologies that even they celebrate death in this case. And here we have a piece. It has positive and negative meaning to it. It's actually the quotations. The quotations you keep hearing here and there, and nothing happens. And why I did this piece? I did it for the young generation, because now, unfortunately, the young, they've been brought up under this situation where they keep hearing lies and lies and lies, peace, but nothing happens, and they don't believe in anything, to the point that either they say it's none of my problem or they go crazy. So the people who say it's none of our problem, even they don't, like, we should be helping the refugees, we should be spreading the word, we should be doing art, we should be going abroad peacefully, talking about our problems, spread the word. So the first dot here is the sweat that drops from the person who's working hard to help, and it's making to the first step. And the second step is also made by another drop, but this, unfortunately, this time is the drop of someone who lost his life defending his country and his family and his people, and it's also the second step. And this is the positive part of it. It shows the accumulation, very important. We have to do something. We cannot say it's none of our problems, that this is something very big and we can do nothing. No, everything counts, because we have been digging for long in this tunnel, and for 30-40 years we've digged a lot. Even now around the world, in Europe and the States, all around the world, Latin America, they're going in the street even more than us to talk and to ask for our freedom. So we should keep going. So we should keep working for peace and spreading the word, because no matter, although, okay, we don't know how long we have to dig, but I'm sure we dig a lot and we're much closer. These 3 pieces here, these are all the destructions around us in Syria, Iraq, and in Palestine too. And I'm using this technique also. They would use the different hues. Here I'm using 3 different hues of red to show volume. Our ancestors were masters of this technique. You look at the old Palestinian dresses, you can feel the motifs on them almost 3D. So I wanted to show this here. Here, when they meet, and here when they choose the path of the tank. Here when, unfortunately, the war thing. And here is the seat belts. This is like safety and security. This is like the main thing in our life these days. and here is the money sign, and you can see on top of it there's a loop, and this is for all the stories they tell us. Even they're willing to get us into religious wars, but the real reason always is the materialistic world we live in. And you see the end of the loop here, unfortunately, also is a drop of blood. But here we call it in Arabic danab, which is tail. You can feel all the countries around the world, the tail of the system. This is the final piece and the most important. This is the piece of coexistent, and you notice this piece, it has arrows in it. The arrows here, they're equal in color and in size, and it talks actually about how all the different religions in this area, they've been living peacefully. Muslims, Shiites, Sunni, Christians, even the Jews used to come to this area fleeing Europe for safety and security. So we did not have any problem in the old days. It's just the Zionist state that started taking the land forcefully from the people that made the balance go wild. And we started to have frictions from the very first days of the creation of the Zionist state, and now we ended up killing ourselves. You notice all these people, all these different religions, they have been living here for thousands of years, our ancestors, living in harmony. And here, the forces here, it shows all these, now unfortunately they are fighting, but you notice they are equal, as I said, in color and in size. That means no religion can eliminate the other. You cannot fight religion. You cannot fight religion. And unfortunately, you can see here the heat and the hate out of this piece. And I'm using the color variation our ancestors used to use. They were using these colors for positive heat, which is love. Here, unfortunately, I'm using it for negative heat, which is hate and bad heat. And you notice the surroundings, they are surrounded by the very thick border. No one can escape, and they don't want to escape because they don't want to make the old mistake of the Palestinians. You know, they told us, so the war is going to be only a few days, and then 4, 5, 6 days they will go back. And the 4, 5, 6 days now, till now, did not go back. So they've learned the lesson here. So all these, we call it tawa'if in Arabic, all these fragments of our society, Christians, Muslims, Sunni, Shia, they know, as the Palestinians, they have roots and they are deeply rooted. These people, all they have deep roots here, they're going to stay. And you notice this piece almost claustrophobic. And it looks like as if it is a boiler. And I'm afraid this boiler is going to explode in our faces, and I hope not.